All right, guys, so the boring video, but this is of necessity. I will go through some tools you're going to need for Bible binding, and not all these tools you're going to need, but I'm going to give you that option to see where you want to go with it. And some of these I would really encourage you to have when it comes to Bible binding. Let me just kind of zoom in a little bit and show you each one. You're going to need something to skive down the leather. And you can get one of these Japanese skiving knives for like $6 to $10 on Amazon, and these are really nice knives. Now, if you're going into bookbinding as a like full time or something like what I'm trying to do, I would say if you're going to go that direction, go with Charter Made. Best skiving knives out there. You can kind of see some coconut oil. Everybody's probably wondering why I always had coconut oil on my other videos, because you want to keep your blade coated with a thin coat of coconut oil when it's a steel like this. That way it doesn't rust. But anyway, so a skiving knife, you definitely want to have that. You want to have a paper spatula. This will help you deconstruct a Bible that you're going to rebind, and I'll show you how to use that in a later video. You're going to want, I can't even think what this thing is called. Let me show you the name of the company. And I think this is also considered a paper spatula, but this one's a smaller one. I want you to see what it looks like, because this is very important for doing your pleats when you're rounding off the corners. Okay? And you're going to want something to skive your knife, the skiving knife, So you have this skiving knife, but you can also use this to skive, and I'll even show you, I will demonstrate in later videos how you can use this kind of X-Acto knife, this knife, and even a box cutter to skive. Now, I will say this, it takes practice. So you might want to buy, there's bags at Hobby Lobby of scrap leather. Buy a couple bags of those when they're on sale. They're like $8 for a bunch of scrap leather. Cut that into different pieces and practice your skiving skills. I think that's the #1 problem that people have with doing rebinds. You're going to want something to cut your leather out. This is the best way, I believe, to go about doing it. But if you can't afford it, or you just don't want to, you already have, say, a box cutter, make sure you have a really sharp blade. But I really insist on you buying a Fiskars or one like it. You can find generic brands that do just as good. They serve the same purpose, use the same blades. That's the way to go to cut out your leather. Have some Fiskars scissors. I'll show you why in the future. This is Fiskars Easy Action. You can get them at Walmart. Make sure that you have a very thin nibbed pin, black. Very important for some things I'll show you in the future. A lot of this, like I said, I'm just showing you tools. It's kind of a boring video. Very important tool, guys. This will be your best friend. This is what you're going to be doing a lot of tooling with. This will come into play doing many multiple things. This is a spoon with a, oh goodness, what is that called? I will put a description, in the description box, I will put a link to this tool, but you can get it at Hobby Lobby, so let me give you a good look at it. So it's kind of like a knife, it's like a blunt knife at the end, so it won't cut you. And you don't want to be too hard when you're tooling your leather, because you can cut through your leather if you're not too careful. I've put some pretty good pressure on some leathers, but I'm sure on some sheepskin or something, you could go right through it. Then it has the spoon at the bottom. This will be in the leather section at Hobby Lobby if you want to go there and get it. But I will definitely at least put this tool in the description of this video. You're going to want some to roll out the leather to make sure that it connects to your the two pieces of leather, the liner and the outer leathers. I also like having a heavy roller for when I'm doing the foldovers, and I have the glue and I want that to stay. This has a lot of weight to the end of it, so it actually does a lot of work for me. It helps me press, and it's not as wide, so I'm not making marks on the leather. So I would say definitely, and these are cheap. You can, on Amazon, these are really cheap. They're not expensive. Another tool that you're going to need is a bone folder. This is a Teflon one, and this one is actually made out of real bone. Either one will do. I prefer the Teflon bone folders, but these can be sometimes more expensive, believe it or not, than the actual bone folder. But this one has come in handy for so many reasons, which will be in future videos. You're going to want something for raised tubs, right? Well, you can go to Hobby Lobby once again to get this, and I don't use this for all my hubs, but you could, and a lot of people do, and there's nothing wrong with it because it's a really good thickness of leather. This is $6.99 at your Hobby Lobby. A lot of times it's even cheaper, but this is 4 yards of it. More than enough for one, that's for sure, but it's not that expensive, and I'll show you how to use that in the future videos. Something to brush on the glue. These little brushes, you can actually reuse them, and they are, I've used so many different things people told me to use, and this is my favorite by far to apply the glue. Super easy. You can actually wash them off, reuse them, and they're dirt cheap. In fact, they even call them disposable brushes. I don't dispose of them. I buy a big bag for like $3. You get like 18 of them, and I use one over and over again until it literally starts falling apart. So with that being said, glue, I started off, this is like my 4th take, guys. Sorry, my son kept on walking in, so I had to restart. But if you don't want to get PVA online and don't want to spend that much money for a big bottle you're not going to use, or spend even more money on this, you can actually use Aleene's original tacky glue. Don't get the turbo tacky, get the original tacky glue, and trust me, it works just as well as the other PVAs and will last you on a rebind. If it's done properly, it will last longer than you'll probably last. So this is good stuff, and you can get it at Walmart. Important to have some scissors. I might have already said that, but I'll reiterate it. Easy action fiskars are my choice. It has a lock, you open it, and all parts of the blade are sharp. So you can actually get in detailed areas, have it where it's like this, and just go around certain areas, and that really helps. And you can lock it and put that away. I think I said X-Acto knife. I've covered skiving knives. Oh, this is very important. A metallic silver pen. Now you can go out and buy one for $6, or you can get, which I found is the best one, and you get 100 of them for $7.49 on Amazon. So I will try to remember to put that in a link. If not, just remind me in the comments and I'll do it in the next video. But you get 100 of them for $7.49. So this could be used for all types of things, or you can be, hey, go look at Brian's videos that he's doing on Bible rebinding, and here's a pen so you don't have to go out and buy one. So you have plenty to give out to your friends that might want to buy Bibles. I don't know. Some type of hammer. This is a cobbler's hammer. You can use even smaller hammers, but this will help, and I'll show you why in the future. Honing compounds. You'll want that, and I shouldn't really have these mixed together. You don't want to cross-contaminate grits, but one is to polish your skiving knives, and this one is a higher a lower grit, so it will actually take away a little bit more steel, where this is more of a polishing compound. I like using both, but using this more often just to keep the edge nice and sharp. With that being said, get you a piece of cheap scrap leather. Use the flesh side, not the smooth side, like, well, I did on this one, but I shouldn't have. Use the flesh side where it's kind of like, you know, flaky or whatever you want to call it, and put that polishing compound on there, and I'll show you in a future video how to strop your skiving tools. And if I didn't say it, I will show you how to skive with a Japanese skiving knife that's only $10, or a $10 X-Acto knife and a box cutter. I'll show you different ways you can skive, but it takes practice. So get you a lot of scrap leather at Hobby Lobby. They come in a bag for like $8. You get a huge bag of all this leather, if I didn't say that already. See, what else? Am I leaving out anything? Ruler. You need a ruler, self-healing mat. You can get these at Walmart or on Amazon, dirt cheap. It's just a cutting board. You'll see that in the sewing section. Crafts, arts and crafts, you'll see these. Usually they're gray. The Fiskars brand is. Well, guys, that's the beginning. I know this was a pretty boring video, but these are things you're going to need to rebind a Bible. Some of these things you could do without, you could do by hand, but I really highly recommend pretty much everything I mentioned here, except if you don't need a box cutter, then you don't need a box cutter, stuff like that. But more, I guess, involved and fun videos coming soon. So here's some tools. Hope that's a blessing. So if you're ready to do this, because I'm ready to teach it. And I'm not saying I'm a master at this, but I'm learning, and learn with me, and I'm getting better. Get better with me. This will be fun. So go ahead and start ordering some tools if you're ready to do this, because I'm going to keep on bringing up the videos, Lord willing, and we'll get to some real in-depth stuff. Right now I'm doing a rebind. I got everything on top of it for a friend of mine, and I also have another rebind I'm doing, and I'll keep you up to date on those as well. So until next time, guys, good day, and God bless.